Hello everyone. I hope that you all are well. And I know that after a long time I am going to interact with you. Today I am going to cover your sixth chapter on the face of it, written by Suzanne Hale, and it has been taken from your book Bistach. First of all, I have a question for you. What if? What if you were a deaf or a blind or a lame or a dumb person and you have a half burnt face? Just imagine how people will treat you and how you will treat usually such types of people with physical impairment. So let's start the chapter. Now we have a page on the screen. So first of all, we will go through the plot of the story. The main character of this story is Derry. Derry was a teenager boy, highly pessimistic and withdrawn from the mainstream society. What is meant by withdrawn? Withdrawn means very quiet and not wanting to talk to other people. In Hindi it is gair milansar. And what is meant by pessimistic? It is just opposite of optimistic. And what is meant by mainstream? Mainstream means the idea and opinions that are considered normal because they are shared by most people. He developed this attitude after one side of his face was disfigured by acid. He avoided company of others and remained lonely lest he be noticed by other people. He believed that no one loved him and his mother loved him because he was supposed to. Well, Derry cannot be completely blamed for his pessimistic and aggressive attitude towards the world around him. Once he heard two women commenting about his monstrous appearance. They said only a mother could love a face like his. On another day, Derry heard his parents conversing that he would not survive after their death because he was deformed. The shock he received from these words was big. On another occasion, Derry heard his relatives saying that he being put in the hospital where he had been treated after the accident was good for him. In their opinion, a deformed boy like Derry could accommodate himself with other deformed boys and girls. Accommodate means to have enough space for somebody or something. This was the opinion of Derry's relatives. Derry had his ears always open for such comments and used to respond to them in his silent way. He concluded that the world altogether didn't need a boy like him, and this was the main thing why he was withdrawn from his life. One day, Derry accidentally met a man called Mr. Lamb. Mr. Lamb is the second main character of this story. Mr. Lamb was an old man with a lame leg. After he became lame, Mr. Lamb began to develop a positive attitude with his deformity. He worked hard to defeat this impairment and learned to walk and climb ladders. If we match or compare these two qualities, the one quality that the Derry has and the second other quality that Mr. Lamb has, then we think that they are opposite to each other. He was happy to be alive and ignored his lameness. He made everyone his friend and had a house with no curtains and open doors. He welcomed anyone who came to him. While Mr. Lamb took his impairment as a challenge and tried to overcome it, Derry believed that he was unwanted and lost. These were the opposite qualities of these two men. His pain was physical and mental. Being a child, he was not as strong as Mr. Lamb about suffering. He couldn't take the sneering and sympathizing world as taken by Mr. Lamb. Then, what is meant by sneering? Sneering means to show that you have no respect for somebody by the expression on your face or the way that you speak. Mr. Lamb was able to sit smart and unaffected as long as he wore trousers and sat, but Derry had no way to hide his face. After meeting with Mr. Lamb, Derry realized how foolish he had been to believe his parents. For him, Lamb was a man who opened the doors of his closed world in an hour's time, the same of which was shut on him by his parents, and therefore believed that his company with Lamb would make him a perfect person. At the end, Derry goes back to his house where his mother Cross questioned him. He had instructed him not to step out of the house. Derry tried to convince his mother that Mr. Lamb was an extremely good man, but she was not ready to listen. Ignoring his mother's thoughtless restriction, Derry left his home and ran to Mr. Lamb's garden. What is meant by thoughtless and restriction? Thoughtless means not thinking about what other people want or need, or what the result of your actions will be. Restriction means controlled, limited, in Hindi rok or pabandi. On reaching, Derry found a motionless Mr. Lamb fallen from the ladder. He had fallen while pulling the crab apples down from the tree. Finally, he comes to know that he is dead and starts crying. Okay, we have another title about justification of the title, means that justification of this story's title. So, according to the Oxford Advanced Learner's Dictionary, on the face of it is an informal expression used to say that something seems to be good, true, etc. But this opinion may need to be changed when you know more about it. The definition of the expression should leave us in no doubt about the appropriateness of the title. An individual may be quite different from what we think of him, or what he or she may apparently appear to be at first glance, and there is the imperative need for us to view others by removing our glasses of prejudice, hatred, hearsay, and dislike. What is meant by prejudice? It means bias, partiality, in Hindi purvagra or pakshpat. And hearsay means things you have heard from another person which may or may not be true, means rumor or kahi suni baat, suni sunai. On the face of it, Mr. Lamb appears to be mysterious, lonely, lame old fellow who lives in a neighborhood house with a huge garden. But in reality, he is very kind, generous, loving, and altruistic. What is meant by altruistic? Altruistic means unselfish and concerned for others. In Hindi, it is paropkari. Similarly, although Derry has an ugly looking scary face, it is his fine lad of 14 with a deep longing for love. What is wrong is the way people in their lives and around them view and treat them. On the face of it, there is so much of diversity, so many differences and divides between the people and other species of the world. But underneath is a oneness, a sameness. All of them are created by God, and all of them need to live and grow together with love and mutual acceptance. As the play progresses, the characters' views about each other and our impression of them changes for the better. Thus, Suzanne has quite appropriately entitled her play On the Face of It. Now, we will discuss about the theme of this story. People who suffer from disabilities must always look at the bright side of things and adapt reality of life bravely. At the same time, the actual pain or inconvenience caused by a physical impairment is often much less than the sense of alienation felt by the person. Alienation means isolation or vimukta. The disabled need support and acceptance and not our pity. This is the main thing. If somebody has some types of disability with his body, then we should not have a prejudice or a partiality that he or she is inferior to me. The title on the face of it is used to mean that something seems to be good, true, etc. But that needs to be changed when you know more about. The second theme of this story is appearances are deceptive, and most often we go on dealing with impressions and prejudices about other without caring to know about them actually. People know Mr. Lamb as a lonely, eccentric, lame old man, but in reality he is a very kind and generous man who longs for company, and he loves his fellow human beings along with all the other creations of God. Similarly, Derek appears to be an abominable ugly boy with a huge scar on his face whom no one loves or likes or befriends. Abominable means very bad or shocking. He is the object of other people's hateful stares, ridiculous and neglect. Even his mother does not dare to kiss him on the cheek with a scar. Yet this boy, who is suffering from an acute inferiority complex, has a tender and sensitive heart. Inferiority complex means feeling like they are or we are less than other people, not as good as others, or we are worthless. So he wants to love and be loved. Fortunately, he meets Mr. Lamb, who transforms him with his healing touch. Okay, students. Now we are moving to the main text of this chapter, and we will explain it line by line or with one whole paragraphs. It is the scene 1. There is 3 scenes of this story, and it is the scene 1. It is the encounter of Derry with Mr. Lamb. Mr. Lamb's garden. There is the occasional sound of bird songs and of tree leaves rustling. Derry's footsteps are heard as he walks slowly and tentatively through the long grass. Tentatively means cautiously. He pauses, then walks on again. He comes round a screen of bushes so that when Mr. Lamb speaks to him, he is close at hand and Derry is startled. The word screen means oat or a place where you hide now behind of it. The dialogues are such like that. First of all, we are introduced by the main character of this story, Mr. Lamb and Derry. Mr. Lamb, mind the apples. Derry, what? Who's that? Who is there? Mr. Lamb, Lamb's my name. Mind the apples. Crab apples, those are. Wind falls in the long grass, you could trip. Now, crab means Wild. It means wild apples. And windfalls means fruits fallen on the ground due to wind. So Mr. Lamb warns him about the crab apples that usually fell in the long grass from the tree above. Dairy. I. There? I thought this was an empty place. I didn't know there was anybody here. Mr. Lamb, that's all right. I am here. What are you afraid of, boy? That's all right. Dairy. I thought it was empty, an empty house. Mr. Lamb. So it is, since I am out here in the garden, it is empty until I go back inside. In the meantime, I am out here and likely to stop. A day like this. Beautiful day, not a day to be indoors. So Derry was shocked on hearing a voice. He asked as to who it was. Mr. Lamb introduced himself and also said that small sour apples known as crab apples had fallen on the ground. If Derry would not be careful while walking through the grass, he could trip over them and get hurt. In reply, Derry said that he didn't know that someone was present in the garden. He thought it to be empty, and even the house seemed empty to him. Mr. Lamb tried to comfort him by saying that the house was empty as he was out in the garden. He also asked him not to be afraid. Derry wanted to leave the. Here it is the meaning of crab apples, a small sour apple, and I have already told about the word windfalls. That means unexpected gain or jackpot or fruits fallen on the ground due to wind. Mr. Lamb, not on my account. I don't mind who comes into the garden. The gates always open. Only you climbed the garden wall. So Mr. Lamb tried and to stop him and said that there was no need to leave the garden just because of him. Derry, angry. You were watching me? Mr. Lamb. I saw you, but the gates open, all welcome. You are welcome, I sat here. I like sitting. So here, Mr. Lamb told Derry that he had seen him already and his gate always kept open. And also he welcomes everyone to his house. And also he welcomed him. Further he told that he used to sit there and he liked to sit just like that. Derry, I had not come to steal anything. Here Derry clarified that he had not come to him for stealing anything that he possesses. Mr. Lamb, no, the young lads steal, scrump the apples. You are not so young. Scrump means to steal fruit from trees. Here Mr. Lamb also clarified that it is not like that Derry was thinking, as he was a young lad and he may steal and scrumps the apples, but also he is not young, so it doesn't mean that he will going to steal the crab apples. Derry, I just wanted to come into the garden. Further, Derry told him that he just wanted to come in the garden. And Mr. Lamb, so you did, here we are. Then you don't know who I am. So Mr. Lamb told him that you have already come into my garden and here we both are in front of each other. In reply, Derry said that he doesn't know Derry, that who Mr. Lamb replied, a boy, 13 or so. Here Mr. Lamb replied that he is a boy of 13 or 14 years old. Derry, 14, pause. But I have got to go now, goodbye. So Derry replied that he was a boy of 14 years old, but he wanted to go from that place, and he just said goodbye to Mr. Lamb. Mr. Lamb, nothing to be afraid of, just a garden, just me. So here Mr. Lamb told Derry that it is nothing to be afraid of because it is just a garden and it is Mr. Lamb who is there, and he is not going to harm the boy, means that Derry. Derry told him that, but I'm not afraid, Poch. People are afraid of me. Here Derry opens an idea to Mr. Lamb that he is not afraid of. It is the people who are afraid of Derry. Mr. Lamb, why should that be? Here Mr. Lamb asked the question, why should people used to afraid of him? Derry. Everyone is. It doesn't matter who they are or what they say or how they look, how they pretend. I know I can say. So in reply, Derry told him that everyone afraid of me and it doesn't matter who they are. So everyone fears to him and it doesn't matter who they are, whether they are poor or whether they are rich people or what they say or how they look. And Derry also told that whatever they say about him and whatever they are looking, and even if they pretend otherwise. Here the statement I can see means I can understand. So Mr. Lamb, see what? Means that what you may understand, Derry. What they think? Derry replied that whatever they think about him. Mr. Lamb, what do they think then? Then Mr. Lamb replied that what do they think about him? You think here's a boy, you look at me and then you see my face and you think that's bad. That's a terrible thing. That is the ugliest thing I ever saw. You think poor boy, but I'm not poor. Underneath you are afraid. Anybody would be, and I am. When I look in the mirror and see it, I am afraid of me. So here Derry is almost aggressive in his bitterness towards others and in the way he assumes that Mr. Lamb fears him. Even though the old man has given no sign that this is in the case. No, not the whole of you, not of you. Mr. Lamb also told that he should not afraid of himself. Derry, yes, means Derry said that, yes, I afraid of me. And then Mr. Lamb, later on, when it's a bit cooler, I will get the ladder and a stick and pull down those crab apples. Further on, Mr. Lamb stated that later on, when the environment gets cool, he will get a ladder and a stick and then he pull down those wild apples to eat. They are ripe for it. I make jelly. It's a good time of year. September. Look at them. Now he also told that the apples are ripened. And he used to make jelly from those apples. And it is also a good time of year because it is September. Look at them, orange and golden. That's a magic fruit, I often say, but it's best picked and made into jelly. You could give me a hand. So Mr. Lamb starts talking about how he is going to pick his crab apples later to make jelly, and he offers that Derry could help me. Derry, what have you changed the subject for? People always do that. Why don't you ask me? Why do you do what they all do and pretend it isn't true and isn't there? In case I see you looking and mind and get upset, I will tell you. You don't ask me because you are afraid to. Mr. Lamb, you want me to ask? Say so then. Derry, I don't like being with people, any people. By now, Derry gets angry at him for changing the subject and challenges Lambs to ask what happened to him. Then Mr. Lamb replied that he wanted to ask him. Okay, then he should say. He would ask. But Derry refused to say anything because he told that he didn't like to be with people. Any people means that he just want to be alone in his life. Mr. Lamb, I should say to look at it. I should say you got burned in a fire. So Mr. Lamb, unruffled, says he would guess that Derry was burned in a fire. This passage reveals the nature of Derry's disability. He has a badly scared face and is treated differently by most people because of it. Not a fire. I got acid all down that side of my face and it burned it all away. It ate my face up. It ate me up. And now it is like this and it won't ever be any different. So Derry says no. And he further told him that he was burned by acid all down the side of his face. And he was so grieved about that. He kept on repeating that acid ate his face and that it would never get cured. Mr. Lamb, no, Derry. Aren't you interested? Mr. Lamb, you are a boy who came into the garden. Plenty do. I'm interested in anybody, anything. There's nothing God made that doesn't interest me. Look over there, over beside the far wall. What can you see? So Lamb seems unconcerned by this and he didn't get angry with him. Derry thought that he was not interested in this story. And to this, Mr. Lamb said that he was interested in each and every creation of God. And he pointed out a wall and asked him what did he see beyond it. So already I have told that this passage reveals the nature of Derry's disability. He has a badly scared face and is treated differently by most people because of it. Again, Mr. Lamb seems to change the subject by turning back to his garden. But he is actually making an important point here. Whether a plant is considered a weed or a flower is just a matter of perspective. And perspective can change, just like Derry can change the way he views the world and him. Derry. Rubbish, Mr. Lamb. Rubbish? Look, boy, look. What do you see, Derry? Just grass and stuff. Weeds. Mr. Lamb, some call them weeds. If you like, then a weed garden that. There's a fruit and there are flowers and trees and hops, all sorts, but over there, weeds. I grow weeds there. Why is one green growing plant called a weed and another flower? Where's the difference? It's a life growing same as you and me. So Derry replied that there were weeds or unwanted plants. Mr. Lamb explained here that there were a number of plants in his garden. There were flowers, trees and herbs. Some plants were considered good and some were called unwanted plants just like weed. And it was not because they were different. All of them were green in color. It was about how people considered them to be herbs or weeds. So in reality, they all were same just like Derry and himself. Derry, we are not the same, Mr. Lamb. I'm old. You are young. You've got a burned face. I've got a teen leg. Not important. You are standing there. I'm sitting here. What's the difference? But Derry didn't agree to this Mr. Lamb's statement. Now Mr. Lamb told him that there was no difference. He was young and Mr. Lamb was old. He had a burned face and Mr. Lamb had a thin leg. So these things were not so important and so they didn't make any difference. Here in this paragraph, Mr. Lamb reveals that he has his own disability, but in the same breath declares that his missing leg and Derry's burned face are not important. That is the matter. Not important compared to the fact they are human beings with their own value and dignity. So, students, I am going to finish this part of the chapter right here, and we will begin the next statement, the next paragraph or dialogues in the next video of this chapter. Till then, goodbye and have a nice day if you are watching this video in the daytime, and good night, sweet dream if you are watching this video in the night. Thank you very much.